Hey guys, it's Richard Butler from Internet Business Demystified, everybody's favorite Irish man and video reviewer, or so I'm told. So today I'm looking at LetConvert. It's on special offer by pitchground.com. It's a bargain price of $49. But with that bargain price, do you get value? Is it worth the money? How does it stack up against the competition? And what do I really think of it? Let's watch this review and see. Okay guys, so here we are inside LetConvert, but let's step back a little bit and let's ask the question that a lot of people are wondering, what the hell is this software? What does it do? Well, let me ask you, have you ever been on booking.com or hotels.com or any travel site, or maybe it's an e-commerce site, and it tells you this hotel was recently booked by John in Maine 1 hour ago. Mary booked this hotel 4 seconds ago, and you're looking at the hotels and you're going, damn it, I have a holiday coming up. I need to book a hotel really, really quickly. And it puts a little bit of pressure on you. Now, I've been in internet marketing for quite a long time, shall we say. And I know all these scarcity little tricks they use, but this particular one I like a lot. And even when I go to an e-commerce website and I see it and I know that maybe it's a trick to get me to book, I still fall for it. So there's a lot of services that will provide these scarcity options. And one of the sort of things that the cool kids say is it's FOMO, fear of missing out. So you are fearful that you're not going to be able to buy the product, and then you buy it because you see this pop-up coming up. Does LetConvert actually stack up, or does it topple over, is the question. Well, let me show you what I think, and I'll tell you a couple of things, a couple of my thoughts here. So I'm in the dashboard here. I'm going to click here on create campaign because that looks like a useful thing to do. I click here and I choose a campaign name. So I'm just going to go through a basic campaign here. So this is Internet Business Demystified. Show this campaign where the pages where the URL contains. So any page that contains Internet Business Demystified will show this campaign. Now I could say exactly matches this URL if it's a specific landing page, or matches the regex. If you don't know what regex is, run away, do not look it up. It is something that is geeky, wonderful, can do lots of things, but normal people like you and me don't need to know it, but it's really powerful. So I'm going to leave it as contains. Do not show this campaign on pages where the URL. So if I don't want it to be shown on membership sites or download pages, I can actually do that. And show this campaign on pages where the referrer URL is. So if somebody has come from a certain page, okay, you can do it here. Really handy. So if somebody comes from Google, if somebody comes from an affiliate page, for example, a top affiliate, you could actually display this particular message that we're going to create. So I click on next. Now the first thing I do is I choose a source. And believe it or not, Harry Potter is working in the background here. Harry Potter actually, after the movies, he had nothing to do, so he decided to come and work capturing leads and auto-magically capturing the leads. Of course, that's not quite true, but it is quite humorous. So what does this do? This means that every time somebody signs up for your mailing list, or for example, signs up for your webinar or signs up and buys your product, their information is automatically taken and processed by LetConvert, and then it starts to display Richard Butler recently bought such and such a program. Richard Butler recently started a free trial. So that's one way of doing it. Or what you can do is custom curation. Curation. Let's go with curation. Now what this allows you to do is, this allows you to upload a CSV file with name and location in it. So if you had an existing mailing list, or supposing you don't have a lot of customers, but you want to use this FOMO experience on them, you could create a list with names and locations and upload that, and the software will start displaying those names and locations. Really handy if you don't have a lot of traffic on your website, but you want it to appear that you do. Let me just say auto magically here, okay? Campaign record source. Capture events on separate URL. We don't need to use that. New purchase alert. So this is what is going to show when somebody actually signs up or when the pop-up actually appears. And here it pulls the first name and then there's a message. So first name, recently booked a room in, and I could just say place. Okay, so I could just use that. So Richard Butler recently booked a room in Dublin if I had an e-commerce website. Okay, you can see it here and it would come up there. So I can show additional settings here if I want. Okay, I can have a real-time user count. Now, first thing here, this is coming soon, so it's not yet implemented on the site. User review alerts. Now, if I have a look here, what are user reviews? Well, these are people who have said something about your product, and I was wondering where do I actually see those? So if I actually go in and open this in a new link, what I'm going to see is that here in the reviews, I have a review pool. And what I can do is I can create a new review. So I could put in John Doe. I could choose an image. Richard is the best at review videos. Well, thank you very much, John Doe. Okay, and I could enable the star rating, or I could choose and create a pool, and I'll call this Richard's pool. Okay, yep. Maybe I won't. Richard's pool. Richard's pool. Okay, and I saved that review. Oh, missing image. Okay, so let me just upload an image here. I think this is an okay image. Yeah, I like that image. So I'll upload that image. I'll save the review. Okay, I suspect this image is probably too large, so let me just use this one here. Okay, so that has actually saved that. And if I refresh this, this should be the review pool here. Number of reviews 2. Okay, show reviews, and it shows me those 2 here. Okay, so here it tells me that the number of views are 2 and I have Richard's pool here. So what I could actually do here is I could then go in here and say import from the review pool. And if I were to refresh this, I would actually see the review there. So that's handy as well. Now, when somebody clicks, what do I want them to do? Well, I could show them a video. I could redirect in a new tab to a new URL, or I could do nothing. Now, power alerts here display the total conversions of your website in the last X minutes. So what I need to do here is I need to go here and I can say power trail alert, visitor or conversion. So I could say something like, I could put sort of have bought X in the last 7 days. Okay, and what that's going to do is that is going to show how many people have actually bought that product. Okay, power trail message alert. I'll just put anything in there. Hello. Okay, that can be very handy if you have a site with a lot of traffic. Now, general settings here. Okay, hide alerts on mobile. Now, delay before first alert. So it's going to wait 1 second, then it's going to display the alert for 7 seconds, and then there'll be 4 seconds in between each alert there. So if you have 500 alerts, it will just keep cycling through those 500 alerts. And that's where in the CSV file, you might add in maybe 15, 20 names and records, etc. Here are the colors here. I tell you, the first thing that I didn't find it easy to do is to change that icon there. And I'm sure I'm just missing something simple. Okay, but I couldn't actually see. So I click on save. It tells me that the campaign was created and it gives me the web hook here. So this is my first little sort of gripe, shall we say, with the software, is that I get to this point and I'm not told what I need to do next. Now, if I am using the web hook, what a web hook is, it's a system that is a callback and it sends back information to this software And that information would be the person's location and their first name if they've signed up for your mailing list. Now, depending on what autoresponder you have, that will work well for you. I haven't tried. I host my own autoresponder, and it doesn't have this webhook functionality at the moment. I'm talking to the developer to see if I can get that put in. However, if you use something like Warrior Plus or JVZoo or another pay platform, there would be, or there should be, an area in there for a webhook, or maybe it's an IPN, it'll be called, and that should pull the information for you. So I haven't been able to try out the webhook, I have to say, because I didn't put it into any of my pages, etc. But I was kind of scratching my head and I was going, okay, what do I do next? Well, then I found, after a bit of trial and error, that if I go to settings, what I need to do here is, okay, I need to make sure that I have all my domains in here. And this was one of the domains I had private English classes here. And then if I go to Pixel, so I should have all my domains in here. So if I were to go to add new domain, so the next, I was scratching my head and then I decided to click on settings. So the first thing is, when I go to settings here, I need to make sure that I add all of my domains that I'm actually talking about. So here, internetbusinessdemystified.com. And I just add that, I save. And then what I need to do is I need to go to Pixel. Now, let me just go to integrations. Again, this is another thing coming soon. Okay, so it looks like there's a lot of things that are coming soon that aren't here yet. Now, what I would like to see is if there was an option here for somebody who was hosting their own mailing autoresponder program, because I don't see anything here. So for example, if you could just put a little script on a download page and it would pull the information if you had a sign up form. Perhaps it's a little bit difficult to do, but it's just something, because not everybody maybe will say I'm using Aweber GetResponse. I know they're the most common, but some people will be using their own. So that at the moment is not available. Now, in the Pixel here, what you have to do in order for this to work, you would copy this Pixel here and you would put it into your actual website header. Okay, so add it to every page on your website where you want to show LetConvert timers. Okay, so you put that in and then you verify the Pixel. Okay, and you verify the install here. When I did that, that worked. Now this is important because, it's to show these timers here, so you must actually do that. I just felt maybe the instructions could have been a little bit better there. So what I did here, if I click on records, I see all of the people who have passed through the system. In this case, I had uploaded these as a CSV file because I didn't have anybody signing up on my demo site that I'd created. So let's talk about this software. It's $49, and that's a good price for this, because I've seen on special, I've seen other software that does more or less the same thing, but is a little bit more mature, selling for $97 on a special. Normally you would not get a lifetime deal like this for $49. You'd be lucky if you would get the software for $49 a month. For the year, you'd probably be talking about maybe $200 or $300. So it's a very, very good deal to grab. The only thing that I see is that it hasn't got the maturity of the other software there. The ease of use, I think, could be improved a little bit. The help section, I think they could do some video tutorials on it. I'm always available for rent, guys, if you need me to do any video tutorials. Quick plug, I might as well. Okay, but the knowledge base is not as extensive as I would like, because I did have to reach out to support to ask a couple of questions, and the support was excellent, but I just felt that it takes a little bit of work to get used to. I've looked at other software and it's a lot more mature, as I say. It's a lot easier to actually use. But I think it's very powerful. I do think this is powerful because of the idea of, for example, regexes. I love the idea that you can refer. I love the idea that you can show this on certain pages and not on certain pages. You can also show it on pages where the referrer has been a certain URL. So there's a lot of potential there. So do I recommend this? I'm going to say yes. Why? Because for the price, it's $49. I really do believe, because I know Aaron is only working with good developers and good companies, and they are very stringent in how they actually evaluate their offers. I do believe this is a very good offer. I do believe they are going to expand what is available, and they have a roadmap, and they're going to do a lot of amazing things. I feel this time next year, if you didn't have this, you're going to be thinking, my God, I could have got that for $49 at the time for lifetime access, and now they're charging me X. There was a couple of questions, I think, about the actual page views. There was, I think, for the $49 bundle, it was 100,000 page views. So that means that after 100,000 page views of unique page views, you will have to pay extra. Now, if your site is getting, 10,000 views a month, well, then maybe you have to think this will last you for 2 or 3 years. If you're only getting a couple of thousand page views per month, like 1,000, 1,500, this will last you for 5 or 6 years. And by the time 5 or 6 years go by, you'll be able to upgrade, because you will have to pay for more page views unless you stack the licenses on this. So, in conclusion, I know I've probably said in conclusion a couple of times. In conclusion, I think it's a good deal. I think the developers need to possibly look at the knowledge base, maybe have a couple of video walkthroughs, but I think they're on the right track to make this an absolute winner when they've implemented everything on it. And looking at their roadmap, there's going to be a lot of hot developments on this. So gets a thumbs up from me, with the caveat that there's still a couple of things to come in, and there is just maybe a little bit better user friendliness. You've been listening to, watching, and laughing with Richard, hopefully laughing with and not laughing at, Richard Butler of InternetBusinessDemystified.com. I'll see you in the next review. If you're watching this on YouTube, give it a like, give it a comment, and follow me for God's sake. All right, guys, take it easy.